What is fairness? A tawdry philosophical question. If that were easily answered, we would have answered it a long time ago.
Many people who have had contact with the criminal justice system have been screened out of jobs at the point of application or at the point of interview before fair consideration.
When we talk about fairness, I think what we're really talking about is justice. And if I were to ask the question, what is justice, I would be starting right where Plato started in the Republic a couple of thousand years ago. And there's no satisfactory answer.
The Fair Chance Act is important because it attempts to break the cycle of perpetual punishment for people who have been criminal justice involved.
It's an amendment to the New York City human rights law that when someone comes and applies for the job, the employer can't ask whether they've ever been convicted of something, they can't ask for an interview, they can't put it on the applicant questionnaire, and they actually have to allow them to go through the whole employment process.
There's a point past which the pursuit of the idea becomes folly. And knowing where that line is really the tricky bit when it comes right down to it.
And what does that mean, criminal justice involvement? I'm speaking about as little as an arrest.
Growing up, I never really got into much trouble until probably a couple years ago, walking down a block, I was arrested.
In New York, individuals who are arrested, that information is transmitted to a repository within the state government, which everyone knows commonly as the rap sheet.
Wasn't convicted of anything, and I was actually waiting for my arrest to be dismissed and erased.
Someone could walk into a job and fill out a form and check the box that said, yes, I have been convicted of something, where the background check would be had, and they'd never have the interview, they'd never have the opportunity to actually get into really the substantive conversation about, do I have the skills for this job?
And I applied for a job, and then the job called me and let me know that something came up in my arrest history. I was actually in fear of not getting the position because of that.
It ensures that people with conviction histories are judged by their skills before employers can attempt to judge them by their histories.
Okay, I'm not sure how much background check you have done on me. Probably wasn't very important.
You're gonna get a much better answer than you were.
Thought.
But what if someone did murder someone, Wes?
Exactly. I mean, so
that's a good question, because, on the one hand, you can say, well, this is a matter of record that the person was convicted of a crime, and why should the employer be prevented from taking this into account, the same as the employer would take anything else into account?
I was involved in a homicide, and I was sentenced to 25 years in prison. I spent 24 years and 6 months in prison.
On the other hand, there's the compelling argument that the person has served his time. It's done. Why is this still being held against me?
Now, to bring it back to the Fair Chance Act, what does it mean even if someone has been tried for the most serious of crime and paid their debt to society?
Like, my situation was something maybe you can swipe under the rug, but a lot of these kids or young guys, they get in trouble and they're thrown away, basically.
After we as a society, as a community, as a state, as a nation, say we're gonna apply a period of the loss of your liberty to this particular bad act, should you carry a scarlet letter in perpetuity? Should you not be allowed to be gainfully employed, to take care of yourself, your family? Should you not be community involved?
Once they go and serve their time, or if they are arrested or convicted, that's it.
When Brooklyn Defender Services posted this position that I now hold and started interviewing people, not once did they ask me about my criminal justice background, and I appreciated that.
It's so hard for them to get back and become a normal human being because of their record, which may be a young mistake, or just wrong place at the wrong time, or sometimes they actually innocent sometimes, and they're just screwed after they get arrested or they get something put on their record.
When you look at government of, by, and for the people, well, justice is the primary concern. How do you achieve that? Well, it has to take into account on the one hand, what the people want, and on the other hand, what's best for the people. But who is qualified to decide what is best for them, other than themselves? This is, I think, the fundamental tension of self-governance.